Center on the Economics and Management of Education and Training System. I was working with Stefan Wolter for 15 years, something like that. Realized that he's one of the really crack in the field of economics and education. And I don't say anymore, but you will be thrilled by what he is telling you.
Okay, Governor, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I know you have a very tough journey. I looked at the program. Clear to me, you're not here for leisure, you're here for business. But anyway, I tried to keep you awake during my presentation. Before starting, 2 words, interrupt me anytime if you have questions or if you want to talk about something else. And the second thing is, I'm a professor of economics at the University of Bern, but that's just my hobby. I'm the head of a government agency here in this country that serves all educational ministers, the 26 cantonal ministers and the 1 federal minister. We do an evaluation of all the research on education in this country, so that when the minister asks what is the state of art on this question, what do we know about this, what does research tell us on this, they ask me and my staff about this. And one of the outcomes of our work is every 4 years we mandated to make an evaluation of the entire education system in this country, from kindergarten to adult education. We publish that report, and then based on this report the government formulates the educational goals for the next 4 years for this country. So this is my major. So I know also something about things outside apprenticeship, but apprenticeship is the topic of the day. What I would like to do this morning is 5 topics. One is why apprenticeship from the perspective of firms, very short introduction. And then an introduction in how firms should think about and how they think about in Switzerland when they try to find out whether there is a return on investment when they invest in apprentices. Some empirical results from Switzerland. And by the way, I mean that we have invested in knowing what firms do in Switzerland also tells you that Swiss firms do not only train because it's a tradition. There is an economic rationale. So firms want to know whether it pays off. Otherwise, we would not have been mandated to do this 3 times now for the last 10 years. It's a very laborious thing to do. In each of the surveys that we have been running, it was between 5,000 and 10,000 firms that we have interviewed by questionnaires that were so long that they took sometimes 2 days to fill out for a firm. But you see the dedication of firms. They were so interested in the results that they spent 2 days filling out, looking for the information that they needed to fill out the survey, because they wanted to know in the end, not only for them, but also where they stand as an industry, in the occupation, etc. 2 reflections on cost components, which are important for the education sector and also for the labor sector, for the labor regulation. So those of you working for labor departments would be interested in this. And then the final item is that when you come from a country that has not yet an apprenticeship training system that looks like this, the question is, could you simply say, oh, this guy in Switzerland showed us some very nice figures, and if we do that, it will be the same. So this question, of course, came up in the past in many visits, and so we did something last year. We had a 1-year project in Spain, because Spain, when the crisis hit them in 2007-8, they have record high youth unemployment rates, almost 50%. So the government said, we want to have this German model of apprenticeship training. So the government was very dedicated. If you go to Spain today, there is not yet, there are some 2 dozens, 3 dozens of apprentices. So the question is, so why, if the government was so dedicated of introducing it, nothing happened? Well, because the firms said, well, we won't do that. You as a government could say yes, but we don't do it. So the question came up, why are they so reluctant in adopting this system? It may be that it doesn't pay off for them. And that is why we were asked to make a simulation of what would happen in a Spanish firm, or for a Spanish firm, if they would adopt a Swiss model of apprenticeship training, not the Spanish model. And I will show you some results that came out of this simulation. So why apprenticeship? What I want to say here is just two pieces of information. One is, you don't have to read this all, is no firm has to train apprentices. There are other possibilities of getting either skilled or middle skilled or low skilled workers. You can just wait at the doors of universities till the government has trained them. And then, of course, you have not paid anything. You can hope for a positive selection because the system has only given the diplomas to the best. There's a disadvantage, which is apparent in many countries. I just had Swedish television yesterday. They said, why do we have 25% of youth unemployment? We send 95% of our kids to university and then we have 25% of youth unemployment. Well, in Sweden, it's clear. It's a huge mismatch of what they study and what is needed in the labor market. When they made surveys, they asked 15-year-olds, what do you want to study? 50% said journalism. And they have this huge demand, and they have a special. You can select 13 different special